Welcome to episode 1 of the Grid Gossip podcast. This is a podcast all about sim racing and real life racing. You're joined by Brucey. Welcome, Brucey.
Hello.
And me, Graham, as we bring you a roundup of the world of motorsport. We'll get into the first section, obviously, our week's races. So, what have you been up to last week of racing, Bruce?
Well, we had TC, Japanese touring car championship. And we had Dennis Fun Nights as well. It's been really good every Friday.
Yeah, so JGTC's been good fun. I think we've just done round 3 the other night, so one more round to go. With, what is it, Group 2 GT500 and the Group 3 GT500, so it's been nice.
Yeah.
Quite nice, yeah. And fun nights are always a good way to have a bit of fun, let your hair down. And,
Yeah, especially after Christmas as well, getting back into the racing scene.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's always good to have some fun. Yeah. I haven't done any other racing apart from that. I don't know about you.
No, that's it. Pretty much just Tuesdays and Fridays for me at the minute.
Yeah. Obviously, we've got game updates. We will be having an update, I believe, this month. We'll be getting a new Hyundai Ioniq 5. It's a free car that you had from watching the manufacture or the World Series last year. I think you got it for that. But there's no update on the Gran Turismo side of when that's coming out yet. Just waiting.
I was going to say it's been radio silent, hasn't it, since November?
Yeah, November was the last update we've had, so yeah, we'll hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have an update from them of when the next one is. Normally only a week or so when he releases it to actually come into the game, but I've also seen ACC Evo had the pre-release or early access, didn't they? Last week it came out.
Yeah, apparently it's peeling at the minute, don't it?
Yeah, it's not been the greatest, I don't think. I think everyone's saying a bit too early for it to be coming out. Graphics look good on it, to be fair, but I think they only did, 4 or 5 tracks and like 15, 20 cars, so it's a bit, an hour or so of racing and probably you'll be done with it, I guess, at the moment. But
I haven't really looked into it, but it pretty much sounds like a reskin of the CC, just it looks pretty.
yeah, pretty much, yeah, just next gen graphics really, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe a remodel of the, like, how the tyres work and maybe a physics, but yeah.
Yeah, and only obviously available for PC at the moment. So hopefully when it gets to a bit later on, they'll release it to PlayStation and Xbox maybe. We'll see.
I should think so.
They've done the other one, does it? So they should. I don't see why they wouldn't do. Obviously we've had don't know if you've seen on Gran Turismo, there's been sport mode updates for.
Yeah, I seen a little bit about it. What was it to do with? I didn't really take notice of what it was.
What I mainly took from it is for like the official series, like the manufacturers and the nations, you get more DR for completing it. So, and you get more prize money as well. So I think like if you got like £1 million for wherever you placed in like your region, you now get like £2 million. And yeah, it's just you get a bit more money. So it's like I think it's to get more people involved with the series that they put out, like the exhibition series and everything. But
Yeah.
because I think the dailies are getting a bit kind of boring for a lot of people, so trying to get more people into the manufacturers and nations.
So I always mean to take part in them, but it's mostly timing. I think that's what people struggle with. Obviously, it's set times and days.
Yeah, normally on a Saturday. Obviously they've had the new exhibition Nation Cup started, which was today, as of the 22nd. Which was the first round today, and it's like they were in like the afternoon. I think it was like 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It's like most people are at work. I don't understand why they're doing it midweek and like mid afternoon. Like most people are only going to be able to make the 6 o'clock one.
Yeah.
Which I think is a bit silly. Obviously, they've got the Saturdays, which obviously most people are off from their week at work, so they can do them ones. But yeah, I think it was a bit of a weird one why they do it on a Wednesday.
Yeah, they could probably improve it by doing maybe like a couple of days.
Yeah, or just do it on Saturdays. You know, it's like, as I say, that's probably when most people are off to play it. Why not do it on Saturdays that, you know, you can have a bit of practice potentially during the week, and then come the Saturday you can actually do the racing. But yeah, we'll see what they do with this one they've got going. Obviously, the one they have got going at the moment it's got 4 rounds. Today was Sardinia Road A in Group 2s, so I don't know how that one went down. This Saturday is the Red Bull Ring in Group 3s. Round 3 is Road Atlanta in the Cappuccino. God knows why they're doing the Cappuccino. It's just...
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's like you could have done like what they done last week in the dailies, which was the MX-5. But quite a good car to drive around. But yeah, the Cappuccino is a bit of a oddball. And then round 4, which is at Grand Valley Highway in the Red Bull X 2019. So I think that one's like 57 laps.
I'd say that's a dodgy track for Group 3, let alone a Red Bull 2019.
Yeah, 27 laps, and I think you've got to use all 3 compounds.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of practicing if you want to do that one and be competitive.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to get onto your segment for the pod?
Yeah, the segment that I've dubbed Hot Tea. It's unfortunately mildly warm this week. Obviously not much going on. We're starting to lead up to NASCAR starting, and we've got the Rolex 24 starting soon. The first bit of hot tea that I've got is JRM Junior Motorsports NASCAR are actually entering a cup car. It's going to be the number 40 car, and it's going to be driven by Justin Allgaier. Not sure whether they're doing a full season or whether it's just going to be a select few days. But the interesting thing is why I picked up on this story is it's part owned by Rick Hendrick. Now, in the rules, it says that teams can only have 4 chartered cars. Now, the car is going to be powered by an engine, so technically Rick is going to have 5 cars. So it's kind of bending around the rules a little bit. I just thought that was interesting. But I'm pretty stoked about Junior Motorsports finally getting a cup entry, because they've had Xfinity cars for the longest time, but never got into the cup.
Yeah.
So that might be one to look out for this season for NASCAR.
Nice.
Thoughts, opinions, anything?
Well, obviously, as you say, it's a bit like bending the rules and having 5 cars for when you're only really supposed to have 4. But I suppose if they're trying to do it as like a privateer kind of thing of getting someone else in, you know, and if NASCAR allow it, then I'll probably see, maybe either later on in the year or next year that other teams will try and do it as well. of getting an extra car on the grid.
I think because he's technically not the sole owner of the team and it's not his name on the door, it comes under Jeroen banner. I think that's why it's been able to be allowed. Obviously, technically, he's just the engine and only owns part of the team, but it's kind of a bit sus.
Yeah. See if NASCAR pick up on it before the season starts in, was that a couple of weeks, I think? Beginning of February it starts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that could be interesting.
Be soon.
If he gets into that, or if they pull up a sanction and go, no, pull that guy out, he can't race. You never know.
But that segues into the next part. Don't know if you've heard this YouTuber, Cletus McFarland is going to be entering into the ARCA 200. He does a lot of, he owns his own racing track and obviously does a lot of YouTube. So that's going to be bringing in more fans, the ARCA Menard series that really got a lot of publicity in the NASCAR.
Yeah. I've not heard of the YouTuber, but it's nice to see them coming through and kind of getting into the real life racing.
He is a character, that's for sure. He obviously does his own racing. He's got his own racetrack. He does drag racing and other types of racing and stuff. So he can drive, and he's got like old NASCARs as well.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on this year then.
Yeah. And then the last bit of hot tea that I've got is for the Rolex 24, SVG, also known as Shane Van Gisberg, is going to be teaming up with his old rival, Scott McLaughlin, in the Corvette for the Rolex 24. Obviously, they've been doing NASCAR the last couple of years, so it's great to see him and like different series. Obviously, I know he's done like supercars and stuff like that, but it's nice to see his American racing career taking off, apart from NASCAR.
Yeah, no bump dancing in the IMSA, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be fun to watch.
Okay. Is that your three?
But that's it for
tea, is it?
Yep, that's it for hot tea. Obviously, as we get through the seasons and the different racing series, I'll probably have more hot tea. See if there's any rivalries brewing or anything like that going off behind the scenes that isn't publicised.
Nice. I'll move it on to the daily races and time trials on 7 this week. For race A, we go to Tsukuba in the go-karts. So that would be a lot of fun. Obviously, we know the go-karts are quite a sketchy car to drive. And then for race B is Nürburgring Sprint in the Group 4s, which is pretty standard. Obviously, the sprint course is not so commonly used, but obviously normally the normal GP layout or obviously Nords itself is used. And then for race C, we have the Red Bull Ring in the Group 3s. But there is a standing start for that one, which is very rare for GT to put out. Normally it's a rolling start.
Wow.
But yeah,
that is.
Start. So it's kind of quite a chaos turn 1, turn 2 to Red Bull this week.
I'm guessing there's no pit stop on the Group 4 and then there's a pit stop on the Group 3.
Yes.
Required pit stop.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's got to change your tyres for the Group 3 one for race C, but yeah. Mandatory pit stop for sure. The time trials this week, we have, from the previous weeks that are still going at the moment, we've got the Ford Focus RS at Road Atlanta. Not a bad little car to drive.
I think that one ends in 10 hours time. I think I saw.
Yeah, that'll end on the end of Thursday, so the 23rd it'll end. So yeah, you've got, as of this podcast, about 24 hours to do it, if you haven't already. I say it's not a bad little car. It's just obviously the struggle with braking and turning at the same time, being a road car. And then this week's time trial was the Group 3s, so any Group 3s at Daytona. So
is that the oval or road?
not the road course. And
Okay.
I think the OP car for that one this week is the Dodge Viper. So if you haven't got the Dodge, go and get it. Yeah, it's pretty quick. It doesn't handle too bad, but you are on racing hards, so you do struggle for grip. The first lap will never be the fastest because you start coming out of the bus stop, so you start literally doing 30 mile an hour when normally you're kind of coming out there like 60, 70 odd, so you always are slower into the first corner anyway. Not by much, you'll probably only lose a tenth maybe, but if you're struggling to get that gold time, that tenth might just be what takes you into gold or not. But yeah, so that's the daily races and time trials for this week. Should we get on to the main part, which is happening this weekend?
Yeah, it's the main meat of the this week's action.
Yeah, the Rolex 24. So obviously at Daytona for 24 hours, which is starting at, in American time it's 1:30. So over here we're +5 from that, so it's 6:30. It'll be starting on Saturday evening. But there is obviously our support races happening, I believe, Thursday and Friday and Saturday morning, which is the BMW M Endurance, which there is 43 cars in that one. So there's two different classes. You've got the TCRs and the GSs, and the other supporting cars.
Pretty much an old NASCAR grid then, 43 cars on track.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then you've got the other support races, which is the Mazda MX-5, which is always a blast to watch because it is just nose to tail for, I don't know how many laps they do. I think they do about 45 minutes of racing, and there's two of them, so it's just bump drafting and slipstreaming all the way. There's 36 cars in that one, and there's actually 6 female drivers this year in it, which I was
nice
to find out. I was like, okay, so yeah, the females are coming in through the Mazdas at the moment, so they might be into the BMWs in a couple of years' time if they progress quite nicely.
Sweet, always nice to see the females coming through.
Exactly, a bit like the Iron Dames in the WEC, all female crew.
Do we know who those female drivers are?
No, I did have a little hunt. I found about 2 of them, but I might try and get a bit more info for the next one after the race and see how they got on. But yeah, for the 24 hours, obviously the GTPs are the main attraction. It's what I think a lot of people go for. And we have obviously the Acura, the BMW, the Cadillac, and the Porsche. Lamborghini join it this year, which dropped out from the WEC and focused on IMSA. And Aston Martin will be joining with the Valkyrie, but not till Sebring, which I think is in March or end of February.
Right.
So they miss out at Daytona. I think they're still doing a bit of testing or didn't get the paperwork in for Daytona. And there's 61 cars racing on the 24. So it's going to be a pretty full track for the whole race, unless obviously there's a lot of crashes or weather permits. So yeah, there's 12 GTPs, 12 LMP2s. There is 37 GTDs, split between 15 GTD Pro and 22 GTDs. So the LMP2s and the GTPs have got a lot of work to do overtaking the GT.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be fun to watch. Obviously I've always liked watching it because there's always a mixture of strategies, which always makes a 24-hour race good.
And now there's more manufacturers as well per class. It's going to make it a lot more interesting.
Oh god, yeah.
Than previous years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it definitely will mix up, and it'll be down to the last race at the end of the year at Road Atlanta. That'll be probably who decides who wins the championship. Bit like last season. Let's say 24 is at 6:30, and it is on YouTube. So have a little look for IMSA on YouTube, and they'll be live streaming it for the whole race, which is a easy way to watch it. Obviously, if you're in the UK, anyway. If you're in America, you've got to go through Peacock, which I think is a paid subscription for. So
yeah,
I don't know what the rest of like Europe and Asia and stuff, how you watch it on there, but I know UK is you can watch it on YouTube, and America through Peacock. But yeah, and then just a quick one on the NASCAR. It starts on the 2nd of February at Bowman Gray Oval, which is the Cookout Clash, 200 laps, which is obviously the first one of the year. So hopefully the next pod will have a bit more info on that one and upcoming NASCAR events.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. It's going to be. I feel that's going to be better to watch than the clash at the Coliseum in LA. From previous year, it wasn't. It was okay, but it wasn't that good. I think Bowman Gray is probably going to be a lot more entertaining.
Yeah, I think it's a shorter track, isn't it? Is it a shorter track?
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I don't have anything else on the main segment from this week.
No, I think I did it. Just have to see how everything unfolds, and then don't think there's anything else coming up MRC wise at the minute.
No, I say we've got one more round for the JGTC, which is next Tuesday, and then obviously we're just carrying on with the fun nights that Dennis is hosting at the moment.
We've got a crazy one this Friday. Random.
Yeah, pretty much anything goes, I think, from what Dennis will pick. You just get picked a horsepower, and you just got to match the closest one to it, or match a manufacturer. I think. I have no real idea what he's got planned for that.
I believe he's doing random track, random weather, random car, random manufacturer, horsepower, and possibly random tyres as well. I think.
Okay.
I feel like it's going to be carnage.
Yeah, Wreckfest on Gran Turismo then, pretty much.
And when I say random manufacturer, I believe he said any car from that manufacturer closest to the horsepower that you can pick. So it's going to be a mixture of road cars and possibly racing cars, maybe. Okay.
Because I know when Gran Turismo put up the weekly challenge and stuff, and I end up doing them, you get the Ferrari one. I always go in the Ferrari Group 4 car, which is in the PP. I get hammered down the straights, can't keep up. But they're braking at like 200 metres where I'm braking at 100, so you just gain all that time back up there. So, yeah, if we're doing that on Friday, that can be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
Okay. I think before we wrap up, do we want to do the joke of the pod?
Yeah. So, joke of the pod this week.
I recently replaced my pizza with a duck. I now wake up at the crack of dawn.
Oh, it's so bad, it's so good.
Oh yeah, good old dad joke. Well, that's it for the pod. So thank you all so much for listening to the Grid Gossip podcast. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button and subscribing, then maybe punch a friend in the arm and tell them what it's all about and send them over here. Thank you all so much for listening, and I'll see you next one. Race hard and race fair. Bye bye.